What's going on, Charles Botensten? So today we're going to be covering what I learned in my first decade, and I literally wrote it down, and it's been sitting here, this piece of paper. This was actually, just to throw it out there, this was a piece of paper that has 184 things that I have learned, and it's obviously over a bunch of videos and everything like that. This took me so long. This took me months to compile, probably even years, because I just kept on adding. And I was like, at the end of it, I'm going to make this into a product. I'm going to sell it for like $5 and whatever. And then I thought about it. I'm like, why am I going to sell it? Like, what? It's not for the money. I don't, it's like, that's the thing, is that, I love Tai Lopez, but the guy is always selling something. And it's like, there's some authenticity, but you're like, there's an underlying, let's make some more money. And to be honest, how does he afford that house? So let's keep on going. And this is the thing is, Tai Lopez, there's another guy, he's a softer spoken self-development guy, which is he's a little bit more authentic than Tai Lopez. This is my thoughts on Tai, is that he's a good person and he has great knowledge. He's got great knowledge, but the funny thing is, with any teacher, is that you hit a point where you're just like, okay, I think I need to level up. And then when you level up, you go to the Brian Tracy's, the Grant Cardones, the Tony Robbins. There's really not many people up there, to be honest, once you start getting up there. And ironically, someone was like, oh, you're going to be Gary Vaynerchuk and whatnot. I'm like, I hope so. $150 million business. All right, let's go back into it. So number one is, intentionally inject stress into your life. Okay, this was really hard for me. Okay, intentionally inject stress into your life. There's really easy ways and there's really hard ways. A really easy way is a cold shower. So in other words, why do that? So number one is, anything you want, obviously, is on the other side of fear. Everyone has heard that. It's on the other side of fear. Everything you want, the fear of approaching someone at a networking event for business, that's fearful. Why? Because back in the day, you'd get shut down and then you're kicked out of the tribe of 150, 300 people, and then you would die. Okay? We're social creatures. That's how we survived. That's how we do anything. That's how we could live in a city like New York City with 8 million people on a tiny island and then just live without killing each other that much. And the biggest thing is, that could be approaching a pretty girl, asking that guy out, making a sales call. The small ways is literally taking a cold shower, even for 10 seconds. And the reason being is that you feel the cold water with your hand. You don't want to do it. You don't want to approach that person, make that sales call, go to the gym, wake up early, go to bed early. You don't want to do something, but like going under a cold shower, and then when you do it and you go into the cold shower, you're like, oh, and you're feeling that pain, and then you have to be there for 10, 15, 20 seconds, or some people just only take cold showers. And the reason being is, it literally, like Tony Robbins does every single morning, he takes a cold plunge. He doesn't want to go into 55 degree water. He doesn't want to go into that. But he knows that he's trained his mind. Things that he doesn't want to do is his compass. That's how he actually makes decisions in life. So I say that every single morning. I say that resistance is my compass. Whatever I resist is my compass. That's my direction in life. So if I resist making sales calls, that's exactly what I need to do. If I resist talking to that person, or approaching that pretty girl, or talking to that guy at a networking event or on the street, because I say, hey, listen, I like that suit. The smallest things is like, I like that suit. Where'd you get it? People are like, is that weird? Is that whatever? But if you go in with that approach, you have to inject that into your life. As Jim Rohn said, motivation is showering. You have to do it daily. So continuing on. Unsuccessful people balk at small tasks and they shelve the larger ones. So they balk at the small little things and then they shelve, which means they shelve the larger ones. Here's an example. If I don't make one phone call, phone call for business, I'm probably not going to make a second phone call for business. If I don't make a second phone call, I'm probably not going to make a third phone call. And then if I don't do those things, I'm probably not going to be able to call that developer or that big business owner and pitch him or ideas. Or even if I meet him in person, I'm not going to have the confidence in person to talk to him. I just talked about doing the little things in life. So if you balk at the small things of having a salad instead of a Cinnabon, and waking up at 5 o'clock instead of 6 o'clock, or 6 o'clock instead of 7 o'clock. If you balk at that small little difference every single day, you are literally shelving your big responsibility of making money, successful life, having an audience, an influence, something that you're a legacy, things like that. So if you balk at the small things, the big things are out of your reach as well. So do the small things every single day. The little small things, that one sales call, which leads to a second sales call. This is really straightforward. Don't complain. Don't complain. Ever. Like, literally, what was it, Friday or Thursday? One of my agents, I own a real estate company, one of my agents walked in and she said something about she's like, oh, it's so hot out. I was like, don't complain. Like, number one is you're not going to get any sympathy from me. And number two is I don't care. I literally do not care. Like if you're shot or stabbed or you just got hit by a car or a bicyclist, yeah, I care, but that's not complaining. Something about the weather that you can't control the weather. You can't control that you're delayed or the train is late or that your delivery for your salad or whatever for lunch was late or your food is cold. Like, just do something about it. Stop complaining. And then I'm going to take it a little bit step further, is that instead of complaining, look at the gratitude. At least you're still alive. At least you're in New York City. At least you have a job. At least you're young. At least you're healthy. At least you're making money. You know? Like, we literally live in the greatest time ever. We have the lowest infant mortality rate. We have the highest amount of per capita income, even though everyone wants to say things about how much people. Look at the statistics. The statistics of bad are the reason that CNN is still in business and Fox, and I don't even care because I don't even look at that, CNBC and whatever the other shows are. But look across the board on what they sell and what they talk about. Income inequality, Trump sucks, Trump is great, this and that. It's like they want to go with the controversy because that's what makes you watch them continuously. Don't complain, okay? Look how long people are living. Look how healthy people are. Look at the quality of life. There's less deaths. There's less medical deaths. There's higher amounts of children being born and living. Okay? Let's talk about that. Okay? The statistics show that. Listen to Peter Diamandis. He is just the most inspirational person to be listening to because he's so bold. We won. Humans have won. Okay? Okay? And then this is the thing is, we're actually going on the other end of the spectrum, which is we now have more suicides because it's so easy. There's no worth. People don't feel that need, that contribution. They don't feel like they're contributed to society. They're so addicted to their devices and they're not doing anything. And the other thing is there's more obese people because we've actually tipped the scales because there's more too fat people than too undernourished people, okay? We've actually tipped the scales, no pun intended, the other way, okay? So stop complaining, ever. I don't care. And whoever you're talking to, as Gary Vaynerchuk talks about, the only other people you're talking to are your other loser friends who are also going to be like, yeah, the weather is hot outside. Yeah, that train is late. Oh my gosh, I can't believe this person, that person at the water cooler. Shut your mouth. Nobody cares ever, especially me. So don't talk to me about complaints. Boom. Focus at this moment right now. It is the best use of time. Focus at this point of time. This is the best use of your time. Okay? This is the thing. If you thought that was really awkward for me to be saying that really slow, I know as a New Yorker I talk a little bit faster and whatever, but this is the thing is that if you can't go without being stimulated by someone, me, my voice, social media, bad news, good news, podcast, if you can't sit in silence, go into an elevator. This is what you do next time. You go into an elevator. I just want to make sure all right, good. Just want to make sure the microphone is still working. Go into an elevator and see who pulls their device out first. Because the elevator's going down, it's silence, no one's talking to each other. Say you don't know anyone, that's obviously what I'm talking about. You don't know anyone in the elevator, it's going down from the 10th to the first floor. Whoever pulls out their device first usually is the person that actually is not the most successful, because they need that external stimulation instead of being able to internally have gratitude, happiness, stimulation themselves. For me, I say every single morning, I don't need anything to be happy. I don't need anything to be happy. I don't need food. I don't need a relationship. I don't need person. I don't need money or watches or yachts or trips or airplanes or social media. I don't need anything to be happy. I want you to get to that point, okay? So that's what I say every single morning. So it's just instilled in me. It's ingrained in me. And then as I talk to you, it further goes into my bones. So focus on this moment. This is the best use of your time. Don't think about the past. Don't think about the future all the time. Like, yeah, think about how I could have done something differently and where am I going, but don't dwell on it. Don't think about it all the time. Think about the present moment. Moving on the next video. So, the next one is actually really good. Talk to you guys on the next one. Subscribe to the video. Leave your comments below. Have an awesome